Welcome back to today's edition of the ETBU Coaches Show. I am here with head women's basketball coach Rusty Rainbolt, and the season is officially underway. 2 games have been played over this past weekend, and Coach, you guys spent some time in San Antonio. Of course, you allowed me to tag along with you guys for the first official road trip of the year. So just kind of talk to us about what you saw as a head coach from your team through these first 2 matchups.
Well, first of all, I'm ready to go back to San Antonio because it's freezing here.
Yes.
I think we need to start having these coaching shows in front of a fireplace or something with some hot cocoa. But yeah, we were glad to have you tag along, and you got to come to discipleship and locker room and everything. It was kind of nice.
Yes, sir.
It was a wonderful experience going down to San Antonio and playing, being in the tournament with great hosts like Trinity, and then obviously playing St. Thomas, who was ranked number 4 in the nation, and George Fox, who was like I think 7 or 8 in the nation, and it was 4 really good teams and 4 good games too. And so for us, we went down there, hoping to come out with two wins. Didn't get either, but one of the things that we did do that was our main goal was we got better, and that was kind of the thing we talked about from the very first game. The pregame talk of the first game is like, we're not going to focus on the scoreboard. We're just not. We're gonna really try to focus and live in the moment of possession by possession. And one of the things we talk about a lot is if you sow good seed, you're going to get good fruit. And if we can just string together as many good possessions as possible and more than the other team, then the scoreboard will take care of itself. But ultimately, our goal is to be the best team in the nation at the end of the year. And Coach Henson said it perfectly in the locker room after the first game. It's like, it doesn't matter what game 1 does. We're trying to win the last game of the year. And so, we felt really, we had some injuries and some, unfortunate things happened that changed the dynamic of our team a little bit in terms of just the injuries. But I was super proud of the way our kids responded. I mean, you lose your starting point guard 3 minutes into the first game against the number 4 team in the nation, and it's pretty tough to recover from. But just watching our freshman point guards come in and play so well, and I mean, to hold St. Thomas to 20 points in the first half and guard them the way we did for the whole game, it was phenomenal. So really pleased with the effort and the commitment of our kids to get better. Then we just got to find a way to eliminate some of the lulls that we're having kind of in the third quarter right now, and just find a way to keep getting better.
Absolutely. And looking at that second game, I felt that, the way you guys came out and the way you just kind of persevered throughout the entirety of that game, I looked at the team and I said, this is the ETBU basketball team I've come to know since my time being here. But just the difference in that game, I felt like was the free throw line and a couple more 3-pointers that they made. So just looking at that game as a whole, what were some of the things that kind of stood out to you as a head coach going up against the number 9 team in the nation?
Well, the day before we went like 1 of 15 from the 3-point line, which is an anomaly for us because we shoot the ball pretty well. But Kendrick and Kim and a lot of our girls just couldn't get going offensively on the first game Saturday. Well, what a day makes. We flip the script and we turn around and we're 7 of 10 from the 3-point line, I think, in the first half in that second game on Sunday. And but you're right, the free throw line is something that's it has been really interesting the way our 2 exhibitions and our first two games have gone in terms of officiating and fouls. And not that they're doing a bad job, it's just it just seems like that there have been a lot of free throws shot by our opponents, and I don't know, maybe we do foul that much, but I feel like our kids are pretty solid. And so the free throws have been the difference in both of our games, to be honest with you. And you were there, and it's just it seems like we come out in the third quarter and all of a sudden it just foul. And so if we can find a way to eliminate the teams from getting to the free throw line and shooting as many free throws as they do, I think we're going to be really tough to play against, because we're doing a lot of good things in a lot of facets of the game. But we had a chance at the end of regulation. We were up 16 in the first half and then up 9 at halftime, and lost the lead at the end. Battled back. I think we were down 6 or 8 in the last 3 minutes of the game, and battled back and tied it up. Got a huge stop with 30 seconds left. They ran the clock down and took the last shot, and we rebounded it with 1.3 seconds left and had a chance to get a shot off and didn't convert it, but competed hard in overtime. And so, but yeah, overall, like I said, the outcome wasn't what we wanted in terms of the scoreboard, but the bigger, sometimes you lose the battle, but you can win the war. And I think we got better in so many different ways, and we saw some things out of different people that we haven't seen yet. Sophomore Hannah Hudson started on Sunday and just kept us in the game in the first half. Was phenomenal offensively, and we had a lot of different players that played really well on Sunday, so it was nice to see that.
Absolutely, and I think this year for you guys, just looking at the way the schedule has panned out, it's going to be a lot of tests, not more tests for you guys here this year, which is going to be great for your program to see where your team really is. So as a coach, just kind of looking at the schedule, I know you're telling your team to always be mindful of the teams that you're going up against, because you never know on any given night. Absolutely, we did with Kentucky losing to a team that they had a 25-point difference against. So just kind of talk about what are some of the things that you're kind of telling your team to kind of stay focused and stay on track to be able to compete at the highest level night in and night out.
Well, we actually talked about that after the game on Sunday in the locker room, and just told them, we walked onto the court with St. Thomas and onto the court with George Fox, 2 of the top 10 teams in the nation, and they kind of set the standard, and we played up to it. We played at a very high level. We want to be a program that's like that, where every single night when we step on the court, we set the standard, and other teams have to play up to us. We don't want to get caught where we play down like Kentucky men did last night. There's no doubt they're better talent-wise than Evansville, but last night they weren't the better team. And I actually sent that in our team message last night. I sent that to them and just said, here's what can happen if you don't prepare and respect the game and respect every opponent. And that's the greatness of competition. It's reality TV at its finest, because it is actual reality that what you put into the ground in terms of respect and seed will produce that type of fruit. So if you put bad seed in, you get bad fruit. If you put good seed in, you get good fruit. And so I think that's one of our big things right now. But we have great leadership. I mean, Kim Childress and Kendra Clark and Caleb Bice, our 3 captains, they are phenomenal, and they are driving our team right now. We get to just coach basketball, but those 3 girls are driving the culture of our team and the standards of our team. And I had a couple talks with some girls yesterday, and they just said it's so cool to see how April Matthews and Tati and Bianca as well, Amanda Wilson, like all of our 7 seniors are. One of the other underclassmen said it's just neat because our seniors and our captains are saying the exact same thing as the coaches are when the coaches aren't there, in the locker rooms, on the buses, in the cafeteria, in practice, behind closed doors. And so our young girls are getting to see what great leadership it looks like in the, on-job training. And so I'm just so proud of our seniors and our captains. And
one of the things you also kind of alluded to at the top of the show, you said, unfortunately, Taylor Singleton going down 3 minutes into the first game of the season for you guys. But then again, as you say, your leaders have stepped up. Kim Childress had 8 assists, which is something I didn't even realize until the end of the game coming up, and a lot of different players kind of chipping in and playing the role that she would normally play for you guys. So are you expecting kind of those type of increases in the stat sheet and in play with her being out at that point guard spot for you guys?
Well, first of all, it was definitely a huge loss not having Taylor, because she's the best defender we have on the team. I mean, last year as a freshman, she came in and she had been a wing forward her whole life in high school, AAU, and all that. And we moved her to the point guard spot. So she's a fantastic defender. She's a great passer. She's unbelievable in transition, and she's getting better as a scorer and as a leader. And to start every game as a freshman, and then 3 minutes in against probably one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the nation that we could play this year, goes down. There's no way for 3 freshman point guards in Gracie, Molly, and Kaya to step in and beat Taylor. It's just not. They don't have experience. They haven't played at this level. It's the first college game of their career. It's just like there's no way for them to replace what Taylor did. But to their credit, they did a pretty good job, because you can't fast forward through experience. There's no way to overcome what you don't have. You just have to get it, through time. But It does change our team defensively a lot, and it does change our team in transition a lot, just because Taylor is so good, and we take it for granted a lot of times. But we're praying, one, she's at the doctor right now. We're praying, one, that she's going to get a good report and believe in that and faith. But at the same time, too, the Bible says God will work out all things for the good of those who love Him. All things. So this right now, even though it's unfortunate for our team and it's unfortunate for Taylor, in the long run, when she comes back and is healthy, it could be such a huge blessing, because these younger girls are getting experience that they wouldn't be getting right now. Because I assure you, there ain't no way I'm playing 3 freshman point guards in those games last weekend if Taylor's out there and healthy. So, I think by the end of the year, what happened is going to be such a blessing, because it's forced us to push those girls out there and throw them in and baptize by fire, and they're getting experience that they wouldn't have. But our team is resilient, and to answer your question directly, it's there's nobody that's going to be able to replace Taylor, but everybody's going to have to step up and just fill a bigger role. But they got to play within themselves, and it may change the way we play a little bit, but we'll figure out a way.
And you guys are hosting the ETBU tournament coming up here on Friday and Saturday. You're taking on Sul Ross, an ASC opponent already, and then taking on St. Thomas University. Of Texas, that is. So just kind of talk about what are some of the things that, as you guys are preparing for those matchups, what are some of the key things you want your team to kind of zero in on against these specific opponents this week?
Well, one, it is going to be, how do we respond to going to a tournament that had 4 nationally ranked teams playing at a high level and playing in that atmosphere, to coming back and, the teams we're playing this week aren't nationally ranked, but they're very competitive teams. Sul Ross has a fantastic coach. She's done a great job since she's got there, and she really knows the game and gets her kids to. She gets the most out of them, for sure. And then St. Thomas, they play super hard. They have a great coach, and they're going to be super athletic and tough. And so what we want to get out of this weekend is, again, obviously you want to win every game you play, but we've got to keep trying to take steps in the right direction to being the best team we can. And our big problems, again, have come down to, we've had too many turnovers, and we've missed free throws, and we've put people on the free throw line. And so we've got to play great defense, and we've got to be tough and physical and all that kind of stuff, but we've got to take care of the ball better. And we've got to make some free throws when we get up there and stop putting them on the line. So if we get out of this weekend and we can, do that, and we're better in those areas, then our team gets better. And so that's hopefully, a couple of 3 things that we can really improve on and focus on through the weekend.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, it was awesome having you once again here on the ETBU Coaches Show. And you guys can check out all things ETBU sports related here at goetbtigers.com, or follow us on social media at GoETBU Tigers. And be sure to support the women's basketball team as they head out and host the ETBU tournament here at home. First taking on Sul Ross State on Friday at 7, and then taking on St. Thomas University of Texas at 3 p.m. on Saturday. And before we go, I actually want to give a special shout out to my mother, as she is turning 54 today. She is her birthday, and just want to say happy birthday from your oldest son. So
happy birthday.
And once again, this has been the ETBU Coaches Show. Mark T. Robinson, head coach Rusty Rainbolt. We'll see you guys again.